Here's my poor little Laegendary Sonic. Let it rest in pieces. No, wait! We had the technology. We can rebuild it. We can bring it back. We have the parts. Ah, that's the good stuff. Gotta have it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So this is the little Laegendary Sonic. I took it to the beach, I lost sight of it, and a wave grabbed it. Now, initially it did work, but after a good freshwater flush, once certain areas that salt water soaked in, especially like this ESC, just never came back. Even though it did work fine initially, I said once that salt kind of sat in there and dried and it caused that corrosion, that was it. This ESC did nothing more than just get hot. I'd have to hold in the button and the lights would come on. So my little $55 car, I had to make a decision. Do I just salvage what maybe good parts are on here for something down the road, or do I look at rebuilding it? And I went on to eBay and I found I can get the ESC for $10. So I figured, hey, for $10, I'll go ahead and get this thing working. So I started digging into it. Sorry I didn't video. I just really need to make sure I wanted to put the money into this before I did all that. So once I started digging into it, then I found that like the wheel bearings, some were okay, some were absolutely shot. I soaked them in parts cleaner, tried to get them to be as good as possible, but these are like metal shielded ones, so you really can't get in there and clean them. I soaked them in PV Blaster. I even still have my little cup here, and that's hard to see, but so I was soaking them in that, and yeah, it just wasn't working. So I was really making the decision then, do I spend the money? But I decided to. So I went on eBay again, and each bag of bearings was about $5, and I needed 4 bags. I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3. Oh, dang. So $20 in bearings. And grant, I didn't have to go this expensive. I could have just ran with the bearings that were good and just try to make do with 4. I can't do that. I can't really just half-ass it. And then with the $10, so $30 to get my $55 RC. Or I could have just bought a brand new one. I got this on Amazon Prime Days, and the new ones to replace it was around like $80. So, guess it is what it is. But yeah, we got this whole thing torn apart now, and we need to go ahead and get it back together. Then maybe do like a little redemption run. Yeah, back at the beach. See if it will do good. So I got two of the wheels. I still have to glue them back, but I had to bust the glue and peel these things back and get the foams out. First, there was a ton of sand in here, and of course they were soaking wet. So I've done that. We got all that torn apart. The motor here, I took it apart and everything was good. I'll go ahead and show a video. I actually started shooting this video, but I wasn't happy with it, so I'll show you real quick what the inside of this thing looks like, and we'll come back. Pinion is pressed on. I don't want to fight that thing, but I took the back half off, and if you look in there, looks perfectly good, right? There's a bearing right there. See, the bearing's fine. The bearing's even fine over here. I can go right here and spin it. It feels absolutely great. So yeah, the motor's completely fine. Absolutely no rust in there. I did put a little oil here in this front bearing, even the front bearing and the back bearing, just to make sure, let it soak for however long I was waiting on these parts. And that's everything else is good, like the shocks. Didn't have any problems. I took these control arms, I just put a little oil in there. I probably should have done the same with the front, but they actually feel pretty good. I've actually even tested the servo. It works. So I think we are good to go. We can get this thing back together and running. So, let me touch on a couple of things here first, because something I found, and I never thought about it, like these diffs, like on the MJX or Phillips, and I was stripping them out and I was going crazy. And I'm thinking, I thought about it, I'm like, I have this Tamiya tool set. These bits are JIS, Japanese Industry Standard. The regular Phillips was stripping this out. I used the JIS, walked the screws out, perfectly fine. So if you have anything that has like regular Phillips hardware, especially diffs, things that are in there tight, maybe pick up a kit. This is my Amazon store, and to me, in all honesty, this is probably about the best deal I've found just to get a couple of JIS screwdrivers. Next, like trying to get, no, I couldn't get the pinion off because it was pressed on. There was something else. I think the screws for the cam back here, something like that, they were just thread locked and really hard. And I know you'll see people use torches, stuff like that for heating up. Let me show you kind of maybe a little better, safer alternative. This little heat gun. I can heat stuff up just as much with this and not risk overdoing it. And you know, you could just let it sit here and keep it a distance and let it do a thing for a few minutes, whatever you need to do. But yeah, I like this little heat gun. I use it a lot when I solder and I need to do heat shrink, but also works really, really well for doing stuck parts. That's in my Amazon store as well. It's not a whole lot of money, and I think it's better than using the torch in some circumstances. So, man, let's see. I've already taken the diff apart. We got everything greased and cleaned up. So, trying to figure what all do we need to do to get this thing back. I guess we're going to start out with the control arms and that stuff that I need to. Or should I just... Yeah, we'll put the control arms on. What the hell. Let's get all the bearings popped in. So we got our drive cups in here. There's an inner bearing and outer bearing. We got those bearings. So that's 4 brand new bearings right there that we got in. And now we're just putting in these control arms here. It's just the hinge pin here just pushes in. Just you gotta get it lined up right first, and then you can get it in there. All right, we got the 2 new bearings on that diff. I'll show you how to work on that diff when we pull it out of the front there. We have this little gear that's gonna pop into here. There we go. We got a little thread locker on there. Oh, wait. I almost made that dang mistake again. We've got to put the bearings on here. So here's where the other 2 bearings go on this gear. I don't even know why I'm doing this video. How many people can actually try to rebuild this car? Check it out, man. My friend Tyson over at Garage Life RC makes this handy little diff holder for when you're working on stuff like this. There we go. So now this is gonna go. Now it probably would help just to go ahead and take out the front. And matter of fact, you know what? Yeah, I think we got to do that anyhow, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave this drive shaft out because we got to take hold of it. That was nice, my nice greased up diff. Jeez. I don't think I can do anything back here until I put that piece back on. I mean, and then I'm pretty sure I got to have this piece off to get that front out, so yeah, wow, we're going to have parts-a-roni everywhere. Step 1, remove the shocks. 2 screws. Alright, we're gonna try to get this apart. Little effort as possible here. We're gonna take these 3 screws out of the bottom. That should allow us to get these hinge pins out and keep everything intact like what I did in the back there. Okay, so be careful, your lights are connected here. These front bearings actually don't feel too bad, but I'm going to replace them, man. We're in here. We're doing all this. Let's just make it right. Alright, how's the steering hold in here? This is kind of driving me crazy. Yeah, that bearing there, that one's stuck. That one's not feeling too good. That one actually feels fine too. Unbelievable. So that is feeling pretty stuck. Let's get that out and get these hinge pins cleaned up. Got the this hinge pin, just the one. Only the one was kind of like really acting up. And I sent everything on this bench flying trying to get it out of there. Oh boy. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I don't know if anybody really wants to care to watch this stuff. But here's the front CVDs. They move beautifully. That's, you know, just absolutely fine. I'm going to soak this hinge pin too, even though it's fine and dandy. I just sprayed some cleaner in here where the bearing surfaces were. Or where the bearings were in here, into these like little wheel things. So sprayed a little cleaner in there. There was a good bit of sand, so just want to make sure we get all that out before we put new bearings in, which I'll do later. I'm not gonna keep flipping this poor thing around and have bearings fall out everywhere. Like, unfortunately, I could keep doing this rear diff. I keep sending it flying out. Jeez, poor thing. It misses being home. It just wants to be back home. Alright, Q-tips. Q-tips, man, are great for cleaning. So right here, just going to make sure that where that bearing is going to go in is nice and clean. Investigating stuff. All this here feels fine. It's pivoting around. It's not like a high dollar RC, so I've probably already done a lot more than what I need to with this car. Hope everybody finds this interesting. Golly. Probably for the time that I'm putting into this car, I probably would have been better off if I really, really wanted to. Just buying another car. But I just kind of, I felt so bad that I sank it and it still ran. It like showed me it wanted to live. And I wanted to get it running again. I don't know. So there we go. Look at all that rustiness. Look at all that. Yeah, all this is... Look at the oxidation there. Ah, yeah, that's... We can see all that's wet. So here... Check it out, guys, I got a new toy. I got an ultrasonic cleaner. We're going to start throwing some parts in. I'm going to go ahead and spray this in here. And spray this in here. We're going to get that working. Okay. So here's the diff. This is where we're really going to use that tool. The ultrasonic cleaner here. Alright, so we're going to get it opened up. There's a Phillips head. You're going to need something to hold this drive cup, and then this is really where you need that JIS stuff, because there is a little Loctite on there. So there we have it. So now we just have to get this drive cup out. The pliers work pretty good at yanking that out. So we're going to put that drive cup in there. And put that little sun gear in there. And now we just need to try to get this bearing off of here, because it is trashed. Check it out. There it goes. Bye-bye bearing. And then this side here too, we have these like the little gears here. Just gonna pop these things out. We'll get it all cleaned up. There's nothing in here. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It might look a little wet. Yeah, this is the worst part of this whole deal, is just getting these diffs open up and getting these old rusty bearings out of here. I'm just using a mineral spirits. This is kind of like a green kind of, well, alright. So I'm going to go ahead and get some stuff cleaned up here, and I will check back with you. Check it out. All the parts at my nifty little ultrasonic cleaner. If you want to know where to get one, check out my Amazon store. That's right, you know it. I'm liking the little cleaner here. I am liking it. So now it's just going to be give these things a final little wipe down and reassemble. Yeah, you know, in a situation like this where something went swimming in some salt water, I guess, you know, you can't just be too careful. Maybe there's still some water. It's kind of hard when you're looking at grease because it's shiny. So it's like, is it shiny because it's good grease, or is it shiny because there's still water in there? So can't be too careful with this stuff. So it's not. I'm gonna take that inside and use the big air compressor on that. That's so cool. Everything is like so nicely clean. All that grease in that's gone. I said I've already did this with the back diff. So it's the same process. Both diffs are the same. So let's just take this little crosshair thing here. We're going to put our bevel gears back on. No, matter of fact, I need to put a little grease on there. Do that first. Make sure that grease is spinning in here, so hopefully y'all watching this. So these little gears here, the one part, the narrower part, is going to go inwards. It's got to go inwards. They all face the same direction. All four of them go inwards. On nicer equipment, there would actually be two pins. One would sit higher in the diff cup than the other. This is actually kind of nice because this makes it really easy to work on. But see what I mean? See how it's like a triangular shape? And that goes towards the inside. One brand new bearing here on the outside of that. So we got our bearing in, put a little grease on there, get our drive cup in here. And then we're going to put the sun gear in here. Not going to put any grease just yet because we need to Loctite this thing down. Try not to touch the screw as much as possible because I know I got a little grease on my hands, but if when in doubt, just go ahead and Loctite it, man. Can't hurt, but you know, you got metal, a metal screw going into metal. It's probably a good idea to Loctite it, especially anything moving at high speeds or subject to vibration. Like these little diffs will be spinning really fast. I'm gonna go ahead and pump a little grease in here. Now I don't want to hear from nobody about like your choice of grease. You do you, man. For this application, for inside of here, I'm just gonna use this white lithium. Something like I used to use all the time, like when I had my old Tamiyas growing up, was like a little white lithium grease. And it always did just fine. Here. Put another bearing on this outside piece. So make sure that that's on there. There we go. Got the other drive cup, which I want to put just a little bit of grease on. Push that through. Then we got our second sun gear right here. Same process, man. We're just going to go ahead and grab this screw. Little thread lock. I'm going to put like a little dab of D grease right there on the top of that diff. I'm going to smush that together. So the battery died. Had to go inside and get another one. So let's just take a quick look here what we got. So that's going to go. So for in here, we're going to use a little thicker stuff. This is like a waterproof, heavier grease than that lithium. It shouldn't. I mean, all these greases are probably going to sling off, but hopefully some of it will stay behind and help lubricate the gears. I want to make sure I don't get any of this on the outside of this stuff, because I don't want it collecting dirt. So we have the two bearings that go right here. Now the whole drive shaft assembly is going to... Oh man, this is going to be good. Now we start getting this car back together. Oh, I tell you what. I don't think I would do this again. This is a lot of damn work. Alright, gonna start by putting this front diff cover on. Oh, I tell you, actually it's not that bad. Once you figure this out and you get the rhythm and everything, it's not terrible. Alright, so now we have to put this steering linkage. I try to figure out how exactly does this thing go. Alright, I got a lot of screws to tighten up. I'll check back with you here in a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sonic has returned. So, my $55 car, I just spent $10, technically $20 because I ordered 2 ESCs, but I thought that was for another project. So let's just say $10 on the wrong ESC. Then I spent $20 on bearings all the way around. So all new bearings. And then I spent $20 for the right ESC. So we were at $50. And then I only had one working LED, so I figured, hell, I was already into this car for that much. So $7 for what was supposed to be the right LED kit. And it wasn't. They had the wrong plug, so I kind of had to cut the harness off the old one, solder this one together. But oh man, so now I got a $100 Sonic. I tell you what though, man, it is a cool car. I felt so bad for sinking it. I really thought for 10 bucks I'd get it running, and then I was like, oh, even for 30. I didn't realize I got the wrong ESC. Man. So, if I would have got the right ESC, I would have been $40. Well, still 50 bucks into getting this thing. I should have just spent the 80 and bought a whole new one, and then had a parts car. I felt like I owed it to this one, because this is the car that went swimming, so I felt so bad. That's a cool RC, man. So yeah, I got a lot more work into it than I really wanted. A lot more money into it than I wanted. I gotta make sure ain't none of those damn banana spiders back here, because man, it's that time of year they like to make huge webs, and those things are huge. hate those things. Man, boy, I got a lot of damage back here. Got some trees down. I gotta clean this place up. Maybe my ramp is messed up here. What the hell happened here? Oh, this is framed right. I don't have to watch, so I don't want to hear it. See, that's the one thing with these little cars, man. Every little twig they get stuck on. But other than that, this is a cool little RC. Ay, ay, ay. Especially considering you get 2 battery packs, paddle tires, these dirt tires. I forget some extra parts too, I believe. See if we can hit this thing with some speed. Damn it, it's dragging a freaking... Alright, that's it. But yeah, way too much money into getting the old car working. I should have just gotten... Well, at that day, I had my fun with it. I remember even saying something about, hey, for 50 bucks, I was gonna put paddle tires on it and see if I couldn't get the skim across the water. And I was like, hey, and for 50 bucks, if I lose it, oh well, haha. And then what happened? I sink it in the Gulf. The salt water got to it, and I felt all sentimental and needed to get it running again. Did you see that thing carrying that wheelie earlier? Wow. Still way bouncy on these shocks. I need to thin that down a little bit more, I guess. But these cars, they don't carry a lot of weight, so that's that is a problem with them. They just, oh come on, what's it stuck on? Oh, there we go. But yeah, man, the Sonic, it is a cool car. Even for I think even for 80 bucks, it's probably worth it. Just don't, oh, that probably doesn't help. Look at that, we got freaking twigs stuck in there. Don't try to, take a swim in the salt water and you should be okay. I'm kind of glad I fixed it. I mean, like I said, I would have been ahead just buying another one for the 80 bucks. Well, I guess I figured 80 bucks plus tax, and that I would have been around 90 something, so I was like, eh. Oh man, I'm glad it's... Don't tell the wife, I just hit her plants. All right, everyone. I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy the little Sonic lives. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like sentimental with this car now. This is why I put the money into it. Ooh. All right, everyone. Appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed the little rebuild. I'm just gonna try to make this video not that long, but the Sonic, it lives. I even put 2 lights in here because I felt bad it was a Cyclops. And man, cool little car. If you're interested in one, check it out. It's in my Amazon store. It comes with these tires. It comes paddle tires. You have 2 batteries. It's pretty cool little RC. And I do have a full review video. I lost a body pin too. That's what I hate, these stupid body pins like that, but oh well, it is what it is. All right, everyone, thanks for watching.
See you on the next one.